Hey everyone, here's an example from section 3.3. This problem wants us to find the first and second derivatives of this function. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to take the derivative of this function y with respect to x. So the first thing we need to define is that when we're taking the derivative, we write this notation, and what we're saying is we're taking the derivative of y in respect to x. And that's going to equal, or we're taking that derivative of negative 6x to the fourth plus 1. So the first thing I need to do is look at some rules here. And if you see the rules for the sum and difference, notice we have a sum here. Sum and difference rules say that if we're taking the derivative of a constant plus some variable, that we can split that to be the derivative of the constant plus the derivative of the variable. So that's the formula we're going to use there. How do we use it? We say that the derivative of y with respect to x of just the first part, negative 6x to the fourth, and then we're using the sum, so we're plus the derivative of y with respect to x of 1. We know the derivative of y with respect to x for this negative 6x to the fourth. We take the exponent and bring it down in front, so we end up with negative 6 times 4, which is negative 24. So we have dy over dx negative 24. And when we take the 4 and we bring it out front, basically our exponent goes down 1, so we end up with x to the third. And then we're going to take dy over dx of 1. Dy over dx of 1 is 0. So we end up with just our first derivative being negative 24 x to the third. So this is our first derivative. So I'm going to write this over here, and then let's find the second derivative. So we've got dy over dx equals negative 24x cubed. So let's then erase this, and let's find the second derivative. So if we want to find the second derivative, we're going to write that as d of 2 of y, so the second derivative with respect to y, over the second derivative, so the second derivative of y with respect to the second derivative of x equals we're going to plug in negative 24x cubed here, and we're going to take that derivative and we're going to end up with bring the 3 out front, negative 72x squared.